All right. So, hello and welcome. I think if everybody can hear us now, that would be awesome if people say, "Yeah, we can hear you. It's wonderful."
Hello,
Because
hello.
we had a little bit of problems to restart when it didn't work with that's what happens when you record with Discord. All right. Things
So,
happen. Hello and welcome. So, how are you all doing? Are you having a
if
great
everybody can hear us
evening
now, that
already?
would
Are you
be
having fun? Is it great? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes,
you
Okay,
fine.
perfect.
I can hear you.
All right.
I
So
just didn't know if you're talking to us or
Yeah, he's
everybody
talking
yeah,
else.
on.
we are here. So
Cool.
perfect.
We're doing good. It's still early here in Montana. It's only 11 a.m.
Yeah, it's perfectly at 7 p.m. in the evening. So um, oh, you're saying
So,
I'm not loud enough. I have to see if that fixed it. Everybody tell me if it works, and otherwise, perfect.
It's
sorry,
fine,
that's my
bro.
dog.
Just great.
So, yes, um, let's start. Basically, ich hätte hier doppelten Ton. Doppelter Ton wäre schlecht. Ja, ich begrüße erstmal mal alle auf Deutsch, bevor wir dann irgendwie so ein bisschen auf Englisch umstellen und ich dann auch mal euch noch so mal begrüße. Also erstmal hallo und herzlich willkommen zu unserem Livestream zu Chroniken von Drunagor. Wir hatten heute am Tag noch so ein bisschen technische Probleme, deswegen wir hoffen, dass jetzt alles gut läuft, dass ihr uns gut hört, dass ihr uns gut seht und alles irgendwie funktioniert. Wir versuchen ein bisschen auf Englisch zu sprechen, auch englische Fragen zu stellen. Wenn ihr aber wissen wollt oder wenn ihr sagt, könnt ihr bitte nochmal eine Antwort auf Deutsch zusammenfassen oder so, dann bitte sagt das, damit wir da euch auch die Infos geben, die euch interessieren und ihr diese Infos auch versteht. Alles andere wäre ja so ein bisschen quatschig. Genau. Yeah, so again, we'll see if how it goes in English. Good evening. Well, at least good evening for us. So good morning for you, probably, or good
Good evening
afternoon.
for us. Nice.
Well,
Good
good evening
afternoon for
to
us.
everybody watching us right now. Hope you had a great day.
Let's recap the campaign so far. I think that's a good start. This was a crazy ride so far, I would say. Would you agree?
I mean, we can't be more grateful for the work that the team has been done, the support from the community, and it's not only that, but when we started, when we look back to our first campaign and how we got together as a company to be here and having so many people enjoying our work, it's so rewarding. I have no words to describe that, but we know we have a lot of work ahead of us. Um, it feels like a growing pain as we advance throughout the years. We learn a lot, and we must improve. But to be here right now, it feels amazing. Just because we know we have a really awesome product, and the support that we're getting from the community is just it's what makes us want to do this when we get up.
I mean, this is. I think the reception here in Germany has also been, I mean, phenomenal. I think there's one forum with one thread that is basically exploding, and it's all about Drunagor, and everybody is chiming in, and it's crazy about the game. Lots of
And
discussion.
and Ben, I just want to say something. We had so many backers reaching out to us to help us out. Like we had the support of one of the backers. I know he doesn't want to appear, but he made the tabletop simulator, and it turned into something really unique. And it was a German backer. We had the reviewer. I'm not going to mention his name, but his channel is Genus Solo. I might be pronouncing it wrong.
No, that's perfect.
Um, but it's just it's so rewarding to have that people in the community helping the project. So we're super stoked. I can say that for the whole team because we're super proud of the community and we're super proud of the teamwork that we're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah, it's been really cool. As I said, we also get a lot of feedback, and everybody's also, and I have to say this again, appreciating how much you're doing and how much you're integrating feedback, how you're trying to see what does the community want, but still walking that fine line between well, we had a great game to start with, and we have to be very careful of what to do, but still listening to feedback. And I think that's something pretty unique, and I think I can speak for the German users also saying this is awesome, and it's great that you're taking that into account, you're listening to that. That's something pretty cool.
Thank you.
I apologize. My dog is going crazy. The FedEx is here. He probably just picked up the box from the demo, the Apocalypse demo box that we're shipping to Germany today. So Gina Solo is going to be getting this game. My dog just go nuts. So I apologize for that.
Actually, we so far, at least I can speak for myself, we didn't hear him because, well, we can at least say Discord has a good noise cancellation technology. So yay for that.
Amazing.
For all the stuff that's going on.
I just want to I want to touch on the point that you brought it up, how we're trying to integrate the feedback from the community into our campaign. In the end of the day, we must listen to the community. But in the end of the day, it's a very challenging to go from a game lover and a customer to a game designer, and Daniel and Mauro can say a lot more about that. And also to run a business. So in the end of the day, it is a business, and we have to be extremely realistic about that. But we want to incorporate as much as we can from ideas from the community into the system and the plans that we have that we actually establish, with gameplay and all that kind of stuff. But the idea is to be active listeners and to incorporate as much as we can. But we also can't do, and I made a post in one of the Facebook groups the other day. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there's a Simpson episode where Homer Simpson is, he finds out he has a brother, and the brother owns a car company. So it lets Homer to build the car of his dreams. So he adds everything into the car. You can't sell the car. Car costs like $2 million. So it's kind of like that. It's a fine line. We really try. We try really hard, but we can't just do everything. But we're really trying.
This actually ties in quite well with the first question we have.
I'm the one that wants to add everything on the game, and Rick doesn't let me. So
that's the designer's prerogative, Everything.
Not true. It's actually Marcio. Marcio doesn't allow us.
Well, he's the leash on the. That's important. Coming to the first question, there was the question: could there ever be a version just with standees? Is that something you ever talked about?
We never actually really thought about it because the experience of dungeon crawlers today, it's cool to see on the table the minis moving and stuff like that. It helps you with the immersion and stuff, right? What we did with Apocalypse was we wanted to show big minis and to show people a great experience. But it got to the point that it was too expensive to have everything on the same box. That's why we chose to do a standee version so that people could.
It's a more affordable product.
More affordable product than.
It was a budget decision mainly because the balls of Apocalypse are just sometimes big, and if we put this on the car box of Apocalypse, the price would skyrocket. So think about this, about the gameplay experience. We manage, okay, we can remove the bosses, that would drop the cost in a point that is affordable, And if the person wants to collect the bosses, want to have the whole experience, to see that huge dragon on his shelf every time he looks at it, and it's a huge dragon, it's a beautiful dragon. He has he has one right now. It's an impressive dragon.
I'm the
And
only one in the whole planet. So my wife and I were super happy and making people jealous. I'm sorry.
right? It's just as big. But then the person who wants to have the gameplay experience, it could be able to back Apocalypse and have the same gameplay experience. This was just a question of entry point. We couldn't let the entry point be so high for this expansion because we had a lot of stuff going on regarding the gameplay, and we wanted to show the gameplay for the backers. Wanted to show how we have learned all of these 2 years of developing, and thus we realized it's better to have a more affordable product than the bigger box ever with whole miniatures and so on.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing you're talking about big box, because there's one question, and then I'm coming to the other one. There was a question: would there or could there be one big box? So basically, it's like a storage solution where you can put all your stuff in, or do you still have to have separate boxes?
Well, I'm trying to put everything on a box and it looks like a truck. So it doesn't fit everything on a storage solution that it's like this size, because we have a lot of content. We are trying. This is something that we have been trying a lot and thinking of a way to like incorporate everything in maybe 2 or 3 big boxes, and you can throw the small boxes away. On the Apocalypse campaign, all the boxes already have the same height, and all the trays that will come in the hero pack, for instance, you can throw the box away and put a tray for the
Inside
miniatures
the Apocalypse big box.
inside the Apocalypse big box.
Daniel has been working a lot to try to backtrack this to the core experience, but it's kind of hard. The core box experience wasn't thought about this at first, so it has a lot a lot of moving parts to keep in mind, and thus Daniel has been a lot of work. But it maybe that some point in the future that we could achieve some affordable solution. I don't like to use
middle ground
word today, but maybe we can develop something on. But I don't think that for this campaign this should happen.
It's a big game. You see, man. You played it. Hopefully,
well,
I mean, it is a good game.
It's good if there's already stuff that you can throw away and put in the box. I mean, that's better than nothing. So that's already a good thing.
Another important point to mention is by developing a new solution, right? You got to always remember shipping. So we need to always keep that in mind. You know, it adds weight, it adds volume. So we're trying our best to have the best solution for the long run. And that's the amazing part of the team: Mauro, Daniel, the boys in the office, Marcio, working so hard to make everything the most affordable for our backers. So,
yeah, that is really good to know. To go to another thing, there's a question is about the Foreteller app. How unlikely is it at the moment that we get a German version with German voiceover? Well, I can answer that. Well, Foreteller themselves, they don't have a German department, so they don't have German voice actors. They only have English, and that's the reason why there only ever was English. There is, or Foreteller already is, I think you can speak to that, Rick, very expensive. So even though there's a huge market because it's English and everybody in the world can join in, it's still very, very expensive to do it at this level of quality, basically. So the smaller the market, the more difficult it would get to get someone to do that. There is, I have to agree, precedents where you can say, well, we can source it out. We can get our own studios to do that. We can get people who can voice the lines and then bring that all together. However, that's a lot of work. There's a lot of people have to take care of that. And that's a lot of cost. And at the moment, for the amount of people that will probably buy a German version, it's nowhere near doable. I won't say that we can't do it in the future if we sell enough of Chronicles of Drunagor in German. But at the moment, it's something. I mean, I'm a player too, so it hurts me as well. But I would really love to have something like that in German as well. It's just extremely unlikely at the moment.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so we've been talking to the foreteller people. They're amazing. I think the result, everything that we've seen so far and we listened to, it's just like it gives you like goosebumps. Like it brings you into the game, and it's no secret why wouldn't the German community want that as well. But you brought a really great point, which is the cost of that, like hiring talented actors to incorporate the characters of the game and to narrate the game. And there's so many cool things they're trying to do with the interaction book and maybe doors. So we're really working hard to make that an amazing, unique experience. And it doesn't change the fact that maybe later on in the future we can do that with Ben and be that incorporation to the community in Germany. I think that would be amazing. It really gives a new interaction with the game.
Absolutely. I mean, I was completely blown back when I heard this. This was like, what is happening? It's really good. There's another question. Will there be an all-in?
Yes. The answer is yes. I sent a video yesterday talking about that and how we're trying to establish the easy pay, and we're tuning up the system. We're really close to get it, as perfect as it will be. And when that happens, we're going to release the all-in pledges. And yes, we will have the all-in, all-win, which is, we're calling the master all-in, which is the core plus the new expansion. I mean, not the core, but the whole first campaign plus the new
thing we ever do, pretty much.
There is a question. After we don't get a German foreteller, would the German master all-in exclude the foreteller app? After all, we would pay for an English voiceover with a printed German version. That is actually a good question.
It is a really good question. Oops, sorry. Hope you guys can't hear that. Anyway, my dog has issues. It is a great question, and we have been on top of that and discussing internally how we're going to manage that. A lot of people still would like to have the foreteller. It's kind of hard to exclude that because it's such an important part of the game, and for the future in the long run, it will be a very important part of the game. So it's a tricky situation. We can't yet know for sure how we're going to go about that. We're so close, but we're debating internally how to go about that. Because the way it is, Ben, and we're just being 100% honest, and we even talked about this earlier today, it feels like you have a tiny little blanket. If you pull one side, your legs get out. If you pull down, your arms get out. So it's hard to find that gap to have the best route for the community. We're trying our very best to bring that option, and hopefully soon people are going to see and understand the reasons why.
I think so. I mean, it's very difficult. I mean, the problem is especially, I mean, I can tell it from our side as well, that if you start to segment too much, it's pretty much crazy to find out how this would all work. A very good question. How much later will the German version of the game be sent to backers? Will it be like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? And will it be the same like the English version? Will it be the same? Of course it will be the same like the English version. As for how much later we can't say for sure yet, because we'll have to see how good we go through translation. If anybody knows us like for a second, they know that quality is above everything for us. So we will never rush anything for the sake of getting something out the door. It has to be perfect in quality, and we'll have to wait until we see the final files to see how quickly are we going through that, how much work will still be needed, what do we have to tweak. That's all so much open that we don't really know. I would expect the core game to be, I would say significantly later, because of course the English version is already done. So, and we have to start doing it. And I think you will want to send out the English version rather quickly, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So the core game will be out sooner than Apocalypse, right?
Yes,
Yes.
that is the fact. Yeah, that is our plan. Mauro and Daniel can also mention something regarding to that, and then I can come back with the whole translation, because it's something that it's right here. It's bothering us with the last year and how we struggle with the previous translation attempt, and reason why we wanted to be more professionals, and we got an amazing company partner with us like Frosted to help us with that. But Daniel and Mauro, you guys can finish the question. I'll come back.
Yeah, for everything from the reprint, we are thinking to fulfill in July 2022, right? And the Apocalypse was going to be like late December 2022. So it's going to be a 6-month window from each version of the game.
Yeah, and for people to know, to see what that would entail, that would mean that for us, for fulfillment, for printing and everything, we'd have to be finished with the core game in January. So that would give us from now, 5 to 6 months. The files will, it's going to be 5 months. That is not a lot of time for a lot of text that needs to be translated, that needs to be, edited in full, that needs to be checked, that needs to be layouted so that all the text is, on the cards and whatnot. And that is pretty close. So I don't think we're going to do that. So I would expect, let's work with 3 months for now, closer maybe 5, 6, but we'll see. We don't want to say anything because we don't want to, say it's 3 and then it's going to be 5. So we already say it's going to be later. We're very sure of that, but we can't say, we hope we can surprise you, but you can always be assured that quality will be above speed. That's our thing.
And
yeah, sorry.
No, I just wanted to come back to that subject, unless there's another question already, and then we can go back to the translation.
You can go to.
Cool. Yeah. So, when we're going through the experience of the first campaign, our first Kickstarter, or our second Kickstarter, Chronicles of Drunagor, Age of Darkness, the community started asking us, well, you guys going to translate to Portuguese, German, Spanish, French? We started, we were a pretty small company, so we started reaching out to the community. Is there anybody that's willing to help us out? And we did. We got people in Germany. We got people in Spain, in France, in Italy. The problem with that is it's hard to make somebody commit where they're not getting paid. Basically, that's the deal. And throughout the system, we had the huge pandemic, and we lost touch with our German translator. So he said he was pretty advanced, and at one point I sent an email. We couldn't hear back from him. Still now, I don't know what happened to him. So we had to find somebody else in the community to start helping us out. Until now, Frosted picked up the buck, and now they're gonna finish the work. Basically, that's what it is. But our intention was always to bring that to the community and do it in the most professional way as possible. Now we know we have Frosted stamp of quality to make sure you guys are set with that.
Exactly. Well, as I said, this is, and of course, I can always tell that to our German friends. You can always follow us on Discord. Go to Frosted, discord.frostedgames.de. because during the whole process of translation, of editing, we are always going to share images. We're going to involve you. We're going to show off stuff. Maybe ask questions. Have some feedback rounds. We're always trying to involve everybody because we're for the players. If that motto wasn't taken already, and that's something we're really trying to do. So if you want to see how the whole process is happening with that and other games, you can always join us or on Twitter and Facebook. We're trying to be very active and evolving you, and just so you can see what's happening and how we're progressing on stuff. We're very open, and we also have a podcast every 2 weeks where we're also going to tell you exactly where we are at, so that you know what's happening. There's a question, will there be the option for sleeves in the Pledge Manager?
Yes, we will. Daniel, Mauro.
We have our packs of premium sleeves. It's 100 millimeter thickness, so they're pretty good, and it's gonna be on Pledge Manager for the Apocalypse and for also the core game. So you guys don't have to worry about it. Just get it on Pledge Manager.
That is good to know, because then you also know that you always get the correct sizes. It's very important. There's a question here. Will only the stretch goals and basically the backer campaign be GameFound exclusive, and the adventure packs and the other gameplay material, will that be available in retail? Is that correct? I think we can say that's correct, right?
Yeah, and then we have now the challenge, which is also a stretch goal, the Olympic challenge.
They are actually GameFound exclusive. They are CGS exclusive. So maybe in future, like Gen Cons that we go and other things that we could go, we can trade in, give it to people, give away and stuff like that. So that's why we're doing CGS exclusive. Mm-hmm. So we can use it leftover copies in the future. So yeah, maybe just find us at Gen Con or Essen and ask us for any promos. We'll be there for you guys.
Yeah. If it opens up, we're hoping they're going to open up because of the pandemic. Yeah.
Absolutely. Questions. What role does Frosted Games play, in the future, apart from the translation? Well, I can say we are responsible for the retail version. So, you can find the game in stores on our website. What we're not doing is fulfillment. So are we doing the sending of the packages for the gem backers? No. Fulfillment is not something we can do. We don't have any warehouses or logistics or shipping. So as with all campaigns, CGS runs the campaign, and you'll get your games from CGS. It's just that the content for everything you back on GameFound that's coming from us if you have the German version.
Yeah, and regarding about fulfillment, it is the most challenging piece of the puzzle because of where we are in the world today. So we're really, and Marcio, our other business partner, he's not here today. His wife is about to have twins, so he really wanted to be here, but he couldn't. But he's the one really trying his very best to find the best price for our backers. That's why we kind of have to wait a little bit more to see if everything's gonna come back to a more normal level, because it got kind of out of control. So that's why we don't have more accurate information for you guys, but we will as soon as it comes out, as soon as we have a definite answer on that.
Yeah, I think that's it was best summed up by, this is the absolute worst possible moment to make games and ship them. So if you want to,
and Ben, we went through a major struggle in our when we were fulfilling Chronicles of Drunagor for the backers, because the quotes that we got back when the campaign was live, it wasn't accurate anymore. So we took that big hit. We talked internally, how can we do this? And well, we're not going to charge the backers more now, despite the fact that it's not our fault, but we were there for the backers then, and we were going to keep that same attitude through our history and until things go back to normal, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody can hope that, like everybody in this. I mean, it's so crazy right now that sometimes you want to print something and they don't have the paper for the cards. That's a thing that's happening right now. So, for people to understand how crazy it is to do games right now, it can be absolutely bonkers. One more question. The only reason for me to back Apocalypse right now is that I want a better storage solution for the core game. Will it be possible to get the trays after the campaign ends?
So in a pledge manager kind of thing?
Yeah, I would say.
Oh, what he means is the stretch goal trays for the core box that we are improving, right?
I would assume so, yeah.
Yeah, we are not planning as of for now, but maybe it could be something that we could do later on because we have a lot of backers that's probably not going to come back right now. So that's a good idea actually to like make it happen for the future for whoever owns the first edition of the core game to get those. Yeah, but there's so much content on the Apocalypse, so hopefully you'll be uh, happy to play with it.
It's good to mention, however, that the Apocalypse himself, the expansion is very storage wise, sort of speaking. As we were talking earlier, the whole box of Apocalypse is meant to fit all the trays that will come along any of its add-ons. So if you bought pets and furnitures, or if you bought the hero pack, you could able to pick up the box, the box which the product comes, throw it away, just pick the trays and insert them inside the Apocalypse big box. So the whole campaign Apocalypse will just fit in one box. We're trying to improve the solution to the first core box campaign, but as we mentioned earlier on the first moments, it's a much more trickier situation because we have the undead dragon that's also a huge dragon. We had more add-ons, we had more stuff, so it's not that easy to fit all in a single box. So we have to crack our nuts here trying to think a solution that would make everything goes into 2 or 3 big boxes and now forward we are going to do this as we're doing right now for the Apocalypse. We're going to launch a campaign and everything that comes around that campaign will fit inside a single big box. How this will stretch the core and when it will stretch the core, well, it's hard to tell exactly, to nail the hammer and say, okay, it's going to be ready by December. We cannot tell for sure, but we are trying our best. Make sure we are trying our best.
Yeah, maybe in the pledge manager we'll come up with a solution at least for the core box, and all the add-ons and everything will be in one box. So we are thinking about it, but like Rick told you guys, it increases shipping, increases volume, and everything else. So it's a hard balance to like keep it straight, you know. We're not like overbalanced to like shipping's gonna be crazy and the weight and whatever. So we're trying.
That we can tell. That is really important. I mean, this is it. This cool feedback. I mean, that's absolutely great. And there's congratulations. Keep up the good work. The new rules are great. that are being tried out. Oh, and the question tying into that actually, will there be more print and play stuff coming for the backers of the first campaign to test? Because he really likes the new rules and the new stuff.
Well, first of all, we're glad that you guys like it. We're very anxious among ourselves, thinking, okay, that's a good change, but now we have to have a big test group to see if we're heading towards the right direction. But I suppose there's nothing planned right now for print and play material. But we are have this idea of periodically, from time to time, to update our TTS platform.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can always see sometimes a new adventure there. And if we are doing this through TTS, it's just a little step, a short step to make it available as a print and play content. So it's probably that along this development, we shall have a little more print and play material. It wasn't something that we planned before, but as seeing the feedback from the community and how this actually was made possible through the help of these amazing guys that is Andreas. So we thought, okay, then we can actually implement something like to give more print and play material along the way. It's soon for say right now which gonna be or when gonna be, but now it's on our horizon of possibilities, and we surely should have more thing other than this which was already present.
Yeah. By the way, on the testing, because you said you have a lot of testing, how you're progressing to try to test. I mean, it's because it's a lot of changes, or at least tiny little things you do try to adjust. How are you going about testing that? Do you have like bigger play groups, or do you have like blind tests, or?
Right now, we have only our smaller play test, and we also use the Brazilian community due to the fact that since we write the material in Portuguese, so we send to them first. It's simpler for us, doesn't have to translate, of course. Then this group is about 50 persons. So 50 persons plays the game, you have some backup, and then when this first 50 gave us his okay, gave us their feedback, we thought, okay, now it's time for us to translate this material and launch into campaign and see where it goes. As far as I can tell, this is yet a small group, but we're gonna probably make it to a smaller group and a smaller, more committed playtest group, a more smaller one, to the entire development process. But so far, when we sent this material to translation, it was already something around 50 hours to 100 hours of playtest. So it's not something that we haven't playtested a lot among ourselves, and mainly inside here in CGS, because we had, I said this once in an answer in BGG or the campaign, I do not remember right now, but we have skipped some dinner time and played the game for 2 hours for like some weeks right now, and we have play testing these changes, and we realized some things. First, they are not as deep as they seem. We must just tweak some numbers, because the way the core box was planned was not something that could be renewed so many times. It was sometimes it reaches a gap. Which gaps is this? First, you can only have the maximum of 12 monsters spawned at a time. And right now, the power progression of heroes, if you compare the power progression of monsters, it comes at a moment that you must actually have all the 12 monsters to have a tough fight, a balanced fight. And even so, sometimes the heroes can even outmatch this challenge without a big difficulty. So we realize this. If you want to keep adding expansions, if you want to keep extending the content, because we have a lot of things yet to tell about Drunagor, this apocalypse is not actually the end. We could go there, we could send another material, you could reach another continent. Darien is just one continent. We could use yet the system of Drunagor for many, many campaigns to come, if the need arise, if the people like the game, if you have enough feedback. But the way the game is developed right now, it was not thought to have such a long time for running. Let's say my English is very tricky right now. It's a kind of, I know I'm speaking a lot of Bible, but let me try to picture the idea for you guys. So we had this problem. Then we realized, okay, so we find the gap, we find the barrier very quickly. How can we manage this barrier for future expansions, to give you a longer life for this system? Then we realized that if you just add a little health to the monsters, not adding much attack, not adding many powerful abilities, the game, we could actually spawn less monsters per scenario, and then we won't need to keep a progression of monsters, something greater than champion, something greater than the champion plus, something greater than the champion, which would come not only with a problem like, oh, let me see, now it's a new rank of monster. So we have all these monsters from previous campaign, they all become useless all of a sudden. So we had to, if we launch a new rank of monsters, we should have launched new cards for each previous monster. Thinking from 5 years from here, it would be impossible to launch so many content with a single monster. It will become a problem in storage. It will become a problem as a mechanic. So by just adding this little amount of health, we just reduce the number of monsters per room and keeps the challenge at the same level. Now that threshold of 12 monsters is again far from us. I guess we have still many years to come, many years of improvement, yet the heroes face the greater challenge that they can face. So the game gains a new breath, for sort of speaking. These are mainly our content, we are trying to change. We make the game more extendable, more something that we can. I see that's the thing.
Yeah, it's very difficult, right? You have to, because you have to think for the future, but also be in the now and think, how can I progress with all that? That's not a
Not only that, Ben. Another point that Mauro mentioned is like how the writing and the rules are established at first, and then they play test, and then by the time I get it here, and then we try it in English with the translated version, and then we need to make some tweaks, and then it goes back there, and they readjust things. So it's a process. It's not that simple, but I think Mauro and Daniel are doing an amazing job by improving the system, and I think it's making its life and its immersion and experience a lot more delicious to enjoy, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that is actually. I hope that answered the question about the playtesting, because that's something I think that's really important to understand, and it's always difficult when people see, hey, there's something being changed. What does that mean? Are they playtesting that? Because it's very difficult, to find out or to understand as someone who's not, into it, to see what does that mean. Are they tweaking? Like, is this like a day one patch, where everybody's scrambling and trying to fix something, and that's really. There's already going a lot of work into something like that when you publish something.
Sure.
And say that's happening. That's actually a good question about. Do you know how much these changes will influence the pace of the game? So because you said, I think there was a question before that, that the what impact this will make to pacing and character progression because of earlier access to items, because I think you condensed the camp tier levels.
Yes, actually, this won't change the pace in nothing, because you're actually not getting access before to a new threshold of equipments. What happens in the first version of the core box is that we had 6 camps, and those 6 camps are divided between 3 math. Let's say this camp 1, this first camp, had this 5 point worth of value. This camp 2 have this camp 2 have this 5 point of value also, and this camp 3 have 6 points of value. Then the camp 4 have 6 points of value, then the camp 5 has 7, and the 8 have 7. They have the same value. What we have done is, so these 2 camps have 5 points of value, so now they are just 1 camp, and you're gonna meet it twice instead of only once, as in the first version. So on the first chapter, you meet this camp, and on the 4th chapter, you meet this camp again. On the first version of the core, you saw the first camp, you saw at the camp 1 at the first mission, you saw the camp 2 at the 4th mission. So we still see the same balanced items, for so to speak. So what has changed? Let's take, for example, the Helic item. Helic is a class of items that in the first camp, they give retaliation bonus. But in the second camp, they give spell attack bonus. If you are playing a sorcerer, it's much like that you won't like to pick up the relic right here, but you want to pick up here. Now you just have the chance to pick up at the first time. This is the only change that actually happened.
It only added more variety so you can choose from. So because on the camp one we had few items to choose from. That's what Mario was saying. We only added more variety. That's all.
To comprehend the bigger amount of builds that people can come around. So if you're playing a sorcerer, you will have everything you want to have just at the first champ. If you want to have a better armor, you shall have. If you want to have something that boosts your spell attack, you shall have. If you want to have something that boosts your health, you shall have. That's exactly what actually happened.
That's good. I hope, Colin, your question is answered. We'll see. If you have any more, there is only one more question. It's actually for us. Well, the question is, how is the cooperation between, well, you, CGS, and us? How is that working? How can people imagine that? Well, like any sort of deal like this, it's basically split. So we're buying basically games from CGS, and these basically the buy prices is of course the like the cost to print the game, obviously, and then basically like a license fee so that we are allowed to print it, and we're we're doing all the work for the translation and stuff. So this is how that works basically. So any sort of relationship between two publishers is always going to be like that. It's basically like a license deal. Sometimes that's split, where a publisher prints their own games, so you're not buying actual games. But that depends basically if how expensive is a game to make. If there's of course all the miniatures, the trays. If you do something like that and you say, hey, I'm going to print it on my own and I'm going to go somewhere else, then you'd have to pay for all the tools again. And for anyone who's ever done any miniatures, the tooling for miniatures is insane. Exactly.
Crazy.
And I'll never forget when one of the editors from a company here in Germany said, well, they just had to pay for a tool, and that tool cost €250,000, and that was just the tool. So that's just to make the thing that then costs, I don't know, $10.
Yeah, just pay for the tools. You can have it. It's okay.
Exactly. And that's why usually when you have games with lots of miniatures, you just buy the product, because it would be insanely expensive, and we couldn't do it because we couldn't do all the tools for a much smaller print run than the whole world. That'd be crazy.
And from our end, I think the question is how the experience of both companies working together. So far, the experience has been unbelievable. Extremely honest, on it, hard worker, kind, respectful. I mean, we are loving the partnership. We're loving the mutual interaction with Ben, Rosa. Was that Thomas? I forgot. Matthias. I keep forgetting. But it's unique to see that, and I don't know, it just makes things a lot easier. Sometimes you're dealing with something that's not a pleasant subject, or there's deals and things, and then with you guys, it's been just on it. This is it. Okay, not a problem. If we have to do this, this is how we're gonna deal. Okay, good. So we are loving it, and this is not only from me; it's from Marcio too. He says the same thing. Those guys are awesome, and you guys are. So thank you guys so much for being so on top of your game and so transparent and honest and hardworking. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much. Right back at you. It has been really great. And we said it from the beginning. For us, it's super important that any relationship we do with publishers is going to be, that you share the same ideals that we have, basically. That's super important for us, because when you just go together to make business decisions, and that's something that's really important for us. Then it's just, if it's all about the money, then it's just, it's not gonna be, you're not gonna have the heart in it. And what I really like about this whole thing is that from the start, basically it was like the first call we had, right? And we're like, this is going to be awesome. I wrote a couple of emails with Martin. He's like, this is amazing. We're like completely on the same level on how we're working, and it's really, really, it's been really fun so far.
Exactly.
And that's something where I could say this is great, and we can imagine really that Chronicles of Drunagor is going to be something that's going to be with us for a long time, because it's just fun to work with you.
My grandma, my Italian grandma, this is just a joke. I try to be a funny guy, but she always used to say that when something, it's just a perfect match, it's just like your finger picking your nose. It fits perfectly. so I think this is it. It's a joke, I said.
It's just a question, who's the finger and who's the nose, right?
Well, you can pick. I don't care. It just fits. We're happy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I hope if everybody is happy. Well, there's one question: is will there be more acts in the future? So is this the end of Chronicles of Drunagor?
Definitely
Absolutely
not.
not. Absolutely not. We have so much stuff on our minds.
A lot of plans. Many of the changes these updates we're doing is to help make the game more alive for future expansions. So I believe that actually the future is brighter than the current state. Let's hope that everything goes well with Apocalypse and many, many things yet to come.
Yeah, if I just look at how many backers we had on GameFund just from Germany, that's I think we were over 1,000. I think if we put in Switzerland and Austria, it's 1,200 or something.
That's amazing.
That's already amazing, and we see. And that's just just for the GameFund campaign. So when this hits retail, it's going to be awesome. So this is
So Chronicles of Drunagor: Age of Darkness is the first of multiple plans that we have, basically. So the first campaign, Apocalypse is just adding to the first campaign. So it's still Age of Darkness Apocalypse. But we have some crazy ideas, some really cool things coming up your way. So we're just excited to be here.
That's the word.
There's one last question by Andreas who said I didn't pick up on them. Will there be, or have you ever thought about sun drop shaded versions of the miniatures?
Yes, we'll have them that option on Pledge Manager.
Well,
so yeah, we're actually talking about it. There is this struggle internally, but we're tending to go with that route just because people are really loving it. So
yeah. Well, it makes the miniatures really pop, so I can understand that. It's always, I can just imagine how the dragon will look then.
It's gonna be really beautiful.
It is. It's not just because we designed this. It's really unique. It's just a gorgeous piece, and I know it's not for everybody, but for those who get it, they're going to be extremely happy because it's unbelievable. It's gorgeous.
It looks insane. The people saying I didn't pick up on a couple of questions. Says a lot. You can ask them. Just repeat questions if you still have them that weren't answered yet. I think we'll have 5 more minutes or something. So it's going to be now or never. When do we hear more about the Easy Pay with the all-in pledge? Can you make it less painful?
Yeah, so I sent out a video yesterday. I saw a lot of people question that or ask about that. We had a poll to see if that was a good idea that we had. We understand we're just like you. We pay rent, or some people own a house. I don't. But we have bills, and we've been through struggles of this last year with the pandemic. So we get it. And we were thinking about a solution. So we came up with the CGS Easy Pay. I know it's not for everybody. Culturally, it's not a system that people use in many countries, but in many countries, people do use that. They go to a pharmacy and the bill is really expensive, so they use a payment plan for pharmacy. It happens. So we decided to create something like that. So I sent a video yesterday just explaining kind of how it's going to go. It doesn't fit perfectly with the GameFound system. And we talked about that and how it can impact the numbers, but really it's not going to change anything for the stretch goals. We're still going to be looking manually how much we're funded, and we're going to still release the stretch goals, so that's taken care of. Today I'm going to try to make another video explaining the details of how it's going to work, okay, and the responsibilities and how the client or the backer is going to benefit from it. So we're not charging any fees. We're not charging any interest. But we do ask those that do commit to the Easy Pay to really think about it, to be responsible, because we are basically advancing payment for the fees of GameFound and the platform that we're using. So we're really trying to accommodate those that need that system, but at the same time, those that don't want to use it, go ahead. I don't like that for myself, but I totally get it. And we wanted to support those, and that's it. But stay tuned. I'm going to release an update. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to start working on it. I suck at making videos. I make so many mistakes. I'm not a professional actor, and I apologize, but I'm going to do my very best.
We have, two more questions I think we can fit. The one is, can the Four Horsemen box be changed to fit into a Kallax shelf? So that you can actually
we'll try those, but the dragon is so big that I don't know. We may have to change it the format that they fit in the box, but we will definitely try to do that to save on shipping, to save on fulfillment for you guys, for everyone that backs it, and also to storage. But we can't promise anything yet because of the size of the dragon, and we wanted to be that size to cause an impact and to be an awesome gameplay. So we will try it.
And it's something that's going to be popping up not only in one or two adventures. It's going to show up a lot, and that's why we have the plan to have them to be so unique. They are extremely unique. They're gorgeous pieces. It's almost like, I'm not trying to be a nerd here, but artwork. But they do have a very important role in the game. And we are thinking about everything that Daniel said, shipping and sizes and all of that.
There was a question, will there be like a level designer app? And I think before there was, and maybe a way to like a central server to download like community mods, basically, like level designs. And
we already have all the templates for the doors, the player boards, the cards, and everything on our website, so people can already download it and share on BGG. But maybe we can create something in our site for the community to upload them, and for other people to download it and play the other people experiences. Yep.
It's actually something we could actually think of for doing for Germany as well. We'll have to find out if that's possible. But if
all the templates are already in our server, so they can already download it and create and blow our minds with their ideas. And who knows? Maybe there's a good idea that we can use it.
Exactly, we could do a community contest, where people submit their best dungeons, and we can just see how it goes.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's a good idea.
It's a very good idea.
Yeah. Marcio says, regarding the dragon change size of the box, we actually did a poll for that, and the majority did not want us to change. So first of all, Marcio, great that you're here. I hope everything is going fine.
Yeah, we did. He's bringing something that I think it was just a different kind of question, but yeah, we had a poll asking different ideas based on people said and feedbacks. And vast majority said do not touch it. So we're going with it. And actually, we're really happy because you can experience the whole mini in one piece.
All right. Well, we're running a little bit over an hour now. I think that's a really good time to end. I think we had a lot of the questions answered. We have all the questions we had on our Discord answered. Well, I just want to say thank you that you took the time. I mean, this is like a busy campaign, and you all have to work really hard on everything. And I think, Rick, when I see all your answering, it's basically you're there like 24 hours. Do you actually sleep or?
And it's crazy, Ben. So I'm 3 hours behind the boys, and I wake up like 5 a.m. and it's already like 120 messages, and it's crazy. But we're committed. We're here. We're doing our very best. We still have wife, kids, and all that craziness, but we're doing our very best to answer all the questions, and we're very grateful for the support of the community.
Absolutely, and it's the same here for Germany. Keep it up, guys. It's an absolute pleasure, and we'll see where the campaign ends. I'm going to be, and I hope this Q&A has answered a couple of your questions, made you excited, gave you new insights for everybody. And of course, this will not only be live right now, but you can take a look at it after the stream finishes, and you can just watch it on our YouTube channel. So thank you, guys. Rick, Daniel, and Mauro for being there. It's been an absolute pleasure. And Daniel and Mauro, we didn't have the pleasure before, so it's been a great opportunity.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you, man.
Very nice. Oh, almost broke my chair. It just broke his chair.
It's a good sign. Everything is better when
it's a good sign.
It says break a leg, but break a chair works as well, apparently.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for the support, the time. Thank you to the community, and stay tuned. I'm going to be talking more about the easy payment and the all-in.
Perfect. Have a great day. Thank you very much. See you. Bye-bye.
Take care.